coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Lombardi Leap, here with Mersey FB. Let's talk Packers football. End of the year. Last game of the season, man. Regular season. At least it's not our last game, though, overall. We still get at least one more.
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider this one our last game because half the team won't play.
Our fourth
This
preseason
is
game.
our fourth preseason game.
Definitely had a lot of roster moves. I mean, more defensive turnovers, banged up quarterback room. I mean, there's a lot of stuff kind of going on as you head into this. I don't want to say this is a pointless game because obviously there is always a value in beating a divisional rival. But given the fact that we're locked in the 7th seed, and unfortunately, if we would have beat the Baltimore Ravens, we could be competing for the 2nd or 3rd seed. If the Bears did lose to the 49ers, like I thought they would, and you did too. Unfortunately, though, we're would you say limping into Minnesota? Is that appropriate?
Rolling in a wheelchair.
On life support heading into Minnesota.
Yeah, both teams are banged up. It's not great. It's significantly worse for us.
I know I could complain about injuries.
Should we go over the roster moves for today? That like the 6 of them that we made, or
Yeah, 6, 8, 12 billion in the last 40. I mean, obviously, like they promoted Clayton Tune and Jonathan Baldwin and then Jalen Simpson as well. So they're on the 53 because, unfortunately, Nate Hobbs' season's over. He went to IR. Haddon's season's done.
Zane Anderson.
Oh, yeah, Zane Anderson, real person. Zane Anderson went to IR. So I do like Jalen Simpson. I think there's a lot of potential there. I do think he's going to replace Zane Anderson because Zane Anderson is an unrestricted free agent. I think that's your safety moving forward. He's a little bit of a hybrid guy, 6 foot, 180, played for Auburn. He's only 25, and I think Zane Anderson's like 29.
He's up there.
And then Jonathan Baldwin, Shamar Bartholomew, you and I were kind of talking to him a little bit. Big news, they did claim, not sign, which is an important distinction. They claimed Trayvon Diggs. What do you think about that?
Wow, they really did it.
Yeah.
Legitimately, nothing. This is a win-win situation because he can't be worse than Carrington Valentine. He can't be worse than Keyshawn Nixon. Like, unless he's bringing a shovel, that bar's on the floor. He at least catches the passes to which the quarterbacks throw at him. Like, he at least catches those. Looking back on it, man, does he ever bite on a double move.
The last 2 years specifically.
Yeah. I think he was just trying to be more opportunistic. He is coming off of like an ACL injury last year or the year before that.
Yeah.
He's at least 12 months removed from it. So he's still kind of finding himself. Eberflus was the coordinator in Dallas. Jury's out on him as a coach and a coordinator. Like, probably not the best. Hafley is a little bit more. Well, Hafley is a better coach for sure. But
yeah,
he can do things with. He can revive defensive backs. So I'm hoping that works with Trayvon.
Yeah, I will say this with Matt Eberflus, and this is something that wasn't really talked about. When Matt Eberflus was hired by the Bears, the Colts were going to fire him as their defensive
Oh,
coordinator.
were they actually?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
So that came out right around the time he got fired from the Bears, was that the Colts were going to fire him, but they didn't have to fire him and pay him any money because he got hired away. So they're like, oh, this works. This is the best possible outcome we could have had.
And the Colts team he got hired from would have been the end of Frank Reich's tenure, right?
Yes. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that wasn't a good Colts team to poach a staff member from.
No.
So, well.
His time, I mean, there was already talks about Eberflus getting fired again towards the end of this season. And he should, because that defense hasn't been good. I know he hasn't had some pieces to work with, but the entire defense there as a whole has regressed even worse. I don't think he's a good coordinator. And then before that, Trayvon Diggs had Zimmerman, the former Minnesota coach, and he was coming out of retirement under Mike McCarthy.
Oh, yeah. No. It was Dan Quinn.
Nope, Dan Quinn was in 2023.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was wrong.
he had Zimmerman for a year.
Mike Zimmer.
And then yeah, Mike Zimmer. Yeah, Zimmer. There was another Zimmerman. But yeah, he had Mike Zimmer for a year because Mike McCarthy just got fired, or his contract didn't get renewed at the end of the season.
Mhm.
And that's when they hired Brian Schottenheimer, or promoted him, I should say, because he was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he's had two, I'd say he's had one defensive coordinator that was well beyond his years, should have stayed retired, just isn't in it when it comes to football anymore. And then he had Matt Eberflus, who is not a good coordinator, not a good defensive coordinator. He's going to get fired by the Colts. We saw firsthand how well that went against the Bears, how well he coached for the Bears, and that defense there was really never any good. So I do think that if you're going to buy some stock, I think those are kind of the things you look at. It's the fact that Diggs had issues with Zimmerman's style, and he had major issues with Eberflus's style. Like, I know he wanted to play more man.
I did see a tweet that said they did play similar like matchups coverage wise, or like similar amounts of each coverage call between Dallas and Green Bay.
Yeah.
But again, like execution, the devil's in the details, and Hafley cares a lot about the details.
And I do think they're like, if you look at some of our rooms, I say our linebacker room is better. I say our safety room is much better.
The secondary is a weak link system, and there was a lot of weak links over in Dallas, and there are like less weak links here.
Mm-hmm. Would you say our defensive end room is better than Dallas's? Like, I know we make fun of ours and we ragged on it.
Or prior to playing Denver.
I would even say after Denver.
Oh, God.
I both like Brenton Cox Jr. We like Sorrell. We haven't seen Oliver yet, but I think there's a lot of potential there. LVN played his best game last game, but it was overshadowed by the fact that we got ran through, unfortunately. I think he's trending upwards. Obviously, like, the absolute blight on the room is Rashawn Gary.
JJ's had a good season, too.
JJ's had a good season. I mean, compared to the entirety of Dallas's defensive end room, I'd say that not much, but we're a couple steps ahead of Dallas's defensive end room.
Like a little bit, like we're so off topic here, but I'll just Sam Williams and Ezraku are great in my opinion. Like, I really like them as defensive ends, and I think they're better than Rashawn Gary and JJ. But
I like Ezerico coming out, but overall though,
they also have the ghost of Dante Fowler and Jadeveon Clowney.
And Jadeveon Clowney, yeah. I would give us an edge there at defensive end. The only edge on defense that I would give to the Dallas Cowboys is their defensive tackle room, and it's because they have Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark.
Yeah. Also, one more benefit for Trayvon Diggs is we don't have to keep him next year. Like,
no.
He is on contract next year, but it's a team option, so we can like renegotiate that one or just release him outright, and it saves us $15 million. So it's like we're not actually paying him that much. There's legitimately no downside.
Here's my thought. I heard rumors of maybe the Chargers were interested or the Bills potentially interested in claiming him. I don't know how true that is. It's unsubstantiated.
Well, we had waiver priority over them, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah.
That's why we had to claim.
But in regards to the waiver thing, though, this is where I'm kind of getting my point with this. I think the Packers knew maybe he was getting claimed, maybe it wasn't. I don't know if really there was there's too many teams out there that wanted to pay Trayvon Diggs $512,000 to play one game. I really don't think the Chargers or the Bills were looking to do that. That's just my opinion there. Obviously, I have nothing concrete, only just pure speculative rumors that the Chargers and the Bills put in a claim. Don't have anything, like I said, to confirm or deny that. I think the Packers claimed him on a good faith measure and are going to pay him that $512,000 as kind of a, hey, we scratched your back here. We know you wanted to play with Micah. We gave you this $512,000. We understand you could have gone and signed somewhere else. But they probably weren't going to give you anywhere near that amount of money. We want to keep you for another year. I think that this could be a sign that Keyshawn Nixon will be cut in the offseason. And that $5 million you save from Keyshawn Nixon, you can renegotiate that option with Diggs and say, hey, you understand our cap situation. We brought you here with Micah. We'll put you on a 1-year deal. We know your agent. He's worked with us. We're good for it. I think David Mulgada, right? Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, David Mulgeta.
David Mulgeta is the same as Love's agent. It's Micah's agent. Micah's his best friend.
LaFleur's agent too, if you believe it or not.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, that's wild. So he knows we're a good faith organization. I think you can offer Diggs around a $5 to maybe $8 million contract with a lot more guaranteed, and you're getting rid of Nixon. Like that, you're basically taking that $5 million you save from Nixon and giving it right to Diggs. And let's say he's on the same level as Nixon. Are you losing anything realistically? No, you're not. And like you said earlier, at least he gets interceptions. He has a better connection to Derek Ainsley.
And he's also 6'2".
Yeah, exactly. That touchdown against him on DJ Moore probably doesn't happen if it's Diggs.
Probably
in my
not,
opinion.
unless Diggs is like 3 steps behind. But I also think he's faster than Nixon.
Yeah.
What draft was he again? 2020. Oh,
Yes.
never mind.
Yeah.
NFL Draft Buzz doesn't go back that far.
Yeah, he was a 2020.
Okay.
4.4. Yeah, so I was right. They said they have him listed as a 4.4. 4.42, which is better than Nixon, and his 10 and 20 yard split were better as well. So I think that's going to help, at least in the short. And it's going to depend on if he passes his physical. That's kind of
He should. He was fully healthy.
the big thing. Yeah. I think he was misused, and obviously we can talk about this. This will definitely be an off-season topic. We'll really know more if he's even activated. If he's not activated, you know what that tells me 100%?
Playoffs?
No, I don't even think that. I think that tells me that Diggs is going to be on the Packers. Diggs is going to be on the roster next year if he's not activated.
Okay.
I don't think they activate him just for the playoffs when he hasn't played in a bit.
Well, he started 8 games this year.
Yeah, but recently he wasn't
Okay.
healthy for those 8 games at all.
Okay.
Per Terrence Parsons Jr., not me. So per Micah Parsons' brother. That is the source of my knowledge there.
Okay. Anyway, we kind of glossed over this, but Shamar Bartholomew.
Yeah.
He's 6'1", 200, ran in the 4.4s. Was it 4.45 you told me before the show?
Yeah, 4.4. 4.4 actually. 4.44.
Oh yeah, 4.4.
3 4s. Also,
last year with the Panthers, he played in 5 games, got a couple tackles and 2 passes defended. So he knows what he's doing on the field, which is good. And he's only 25.
And he's comparable. If anybody's wants to what's he like? He's comparable to Bears cornerback Tyreek Stevenson. So to kind of give you a little perspective as to what type of player he is, which I don't think Tyreek Stevenson's bad at all.
No, I think Tyreek Stevenson's very good.
And the coaches rave about
any
it.
injury thing that's noteworthy left is we've activated Nick Niemann from IR.
Special teams ace,
which is good.
Well. Mm-hmm.
That is a positive.
Hopefully he has hands.
Do you want to talk about Ritter?
Desmond Ritter, yeah. I mean,
going in as QB2?
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see. Do you think they go quarter 1, quarter 2? I mean, obviously they're going to promote him. I think. Malik Willis is banged up. Jordan Love's still in concussion protocol. Yeah. I mean,
he should clear it this week, hopefully.
Yes, yeah, that's what we're hoping. But Malik Willis is dealing with 2 injuries, a shoulder and a hamstring injury.
Yeah, he won't go.
So like I said, I doubt he goes. Do you think they just play Clayton Tune the entire game, or do you think they alternate? I mean, we're obviously familiar with Desmond Ritter. He was drafted by the Falcons. He's been kind of hopped around a little bit. He was in the same draft as Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Desmond Ritter is the kind of quarterback that Matt LaFleur likes working with.
I think like you'll give Clayton Tune the first half, and if he's
Mhm.
just getting like murdered by Minnesota,
Mhm.
then they'll throw Desmond Ritter in, and they'll call the game for Desmond Ritter the same way they would for Malik Willis.
I mean, yeah, Desmond Ritter has some speed. I mean, he ran a 4.5.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. It's the plays that they call for Willis are just kind of like look at your first read, if not take off. And so they might do that for that's probably what they'll do a lot of is, hey, here's your first read. If not, maybe go to 2, like go to the second. If the second's not there, then run. Because we're dealing with the Vikings defensive line, which is quite good.
Yeah.
Especially because there's a chance that Aaron Banks won't play, and if he does, he won't be fully healthy.
I don't even think he plays. You know, I don't think a lot of the. I doubt Zach Tom plays. I wouldn't be shocked if they like elevated just about. How many practice squad elevations do you get on game day?
I thought it was 3.
3.
I've under the they've I was under the impression there could only be 3.
So they probably elevate what? A tight end, a wide receiver, and maybe an offensive lineman. They elevate. They just signed one to the practice squad again. Signed another one.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's going to be 3 elevations. Oh no, I could be a running back.
Jennings is on the 53, so he just won't be inactive.
Oh, true. I forgot about that. So yeah, I think it'd be a running back because I mean Jacobs is. I don't think Jacobs was on the injury report, but I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, so you're on the offense, you're looking at Jordan Love not playing, Josh Jacobs not playing, Watson won't play. Reed maybe, probably not.
Yeah.
Aaron Banks won't play. Zach Tom won't play. No Malik Willis. We said that already. So like that's 7 starters or
On offense, and Dontavian
Just on
Wicks did
offense?
not practice on Wednesday either.
yeah. So I could see a wide receiver call up for sure, just because Savion is dealing with his lingering foot issue, and he caught the illness that's going around the locker room.
Ooh, yeah.
LVN caught that too, eh? You see that?
Yeah.
So Jay Reed.
Yeah. Everybody get wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, I don't know. I mean, I feel like
So in my mind, it's Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams who aren't playing.
I could argue.
Evan for sure, because he's got the MCL issues.
Yeah,
thing
Evan
that
for
he's coming
sure.
off of.
And obviously, like Xavier McKinney, you don't need him to get hurt. I could argue. I could argue Bullard. I could argue Cooper, and I could argue Quay. I think one of the
we don't want to
linebackers-
like throw the game, but like
No, you don't. But I could argue one of the linebackers just because of like I do think they want to get a good look at Tyron Hopper, and I think this would be a perfect game to get a good look at Tyron Hopper.
But we've only got 5 linebackers on the roster.
Yeah, but they only play 3.
Did we want Nick Neiman playing actual like snaps that aren't special teams?
Well, so that's why you just play. That's why if you sit Cooper, like sit one of Cooper
Yeah.
away.
Oh, okay.
Not both. Just one of each, and then that way Tyron Hopper slides into. My guess is if they sit a linebacker, it's probably Cooper because Quay's got the green dot. Unless they want to give Isaiah McDuffie the green dot,
Which he's done in the past.
Yeah.
Also, I think you're going to see more of Bo Melton and others at corner this game just to see what they've got.
With your injuries at wide receiver, this game, I mean, unless Bo Melton wants to do his best Travis Hunter impersonation, that by all means, go for it, dude. That'd be awesome.
I'd let him. I'd let that happen.
1 interception and 5 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And 2 PDs.
Yeah. But
You could probably get a
we
stack.
can't really predict who the inactives are going to be.
No,
We have a good clue of who they're going to be, but we can't really tell.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic, this game going against the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings they really have nothing to play for outside of the fact that they're playing the Packers. I mean, who's their defensive coordinator again? What's his name? Brian Flores. Brian Flores is obviously in a bit of a contract dispute with the Minnesota Vikings. It sounds like he's going to leave. So I mean, somewhat of an audition for this game, but even that, like, you have his body of work through the past couple of years if you wanna sign him as a defensive coordinator. If Halfley leaves, I'd this is kind of, again, more offseason stuff, but I would not hate them giving Brian Flores a call or Al Harris, but I digress there. I think
I would disagree on the Al Harris one for now.
really? Huh?
But
Bring my boy
yeah,
home.
that's just a personal thing. Like that's just a preference thing for me.
I
Flores, yes, great. I would love that. Al Harris, I'm not sure if he's
You don't
like
think he's ready yet?
schematically if he's ready to be that play caller or if he can think of the same like I know he's a good leader. He's a good leader, he's a good coach. I don't think schematically he's what you're looking for.
I mean, realistically though, for this game against the Vikings, it's kind of like this is a I wanna see what the upside is and what the floor is for these guys, for a lot of
Yeah,
these
for sure.
guys. And then for, like, Ritter and Tune, it's like, show me why you should be my backup.
Yeah.
Like,
So, God, what's his name? Kevin O'Connell. Sorry,
yeah,
that took me forever to get to. He's a big believer on winning games late in the season, even if you're not in playoff contention, to like carry momentum into the offseason and into the start of next year. Like just kind of build the positivity, everything like that. So they will be trying to win. They currently sit at 17 or 17th in the draft order for in the first round. So I don't know really if they want to get a better first round pick.
depends if you think you got a shot at a quarterback, you know? And I don't know if this draft is exactly
They don't have a shot at a
eh,
quarterback that they can play right away over JJ.
yeah. So there isn't.
There's there's not a chance. It's see what we've got in Ritter and Clayton Tune and just how kind of grade out how our depth is going
Mhm.
ish.
I
And
do
if we
think
don't
it's
have all
kind
of
of
our starters healthy for the playoffs, then we might be like remarkably screwed. But
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's kind of the big thing too is like for the Packers, you wanna get healthy here, and I think one of the things you're looking at too, I mean, they released Quentin Bohannon from your defensive tackle room. Can Jonathan Ford, our former 7th round pick from a couple years ago, can he come in and at least be a better anchor than what those guys were? Because obviously Quentin Bohannon was not good enough. That's why he cut. And then on top of that too, I'm going to be interested to see how the cornerback room shakes out. Maybe they have a gem. Maybe these bigger guys that you want to look at give Halfley the opportunity to play more aggressive. 'Cause and, I've talked about this until I was blue in the face. He hasn't been able to play as aggressive as I think he'd like to, just because your cornerbacks haven't been able to cover for more than a millisecond, and your pass rush hasn't been getting home as you'd like. And on top of that, your run defense has been poor due to your defensive tackles not anchoring.
yeah, and that plays into why they kind of went out and got Trayvon is because he can allow a defensive line and linebackers to play a little more aggressive because he
Mhm,
will he will catch the errant passes.
mhm.
Like that is just the truth. Also, one more thing about Trayvon, he also has a connection with Derek Ainsley
Huge.
because they were at Alabama together, and so it's like him, McKinney, Ainsley, like they all were at Alabama at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's definitely big. And Halfley is a guy who I know we rag on the cornerback room, but given what Halfley has had to deal with, I'm still impressed he's gotten he's gotten what he's got out of this cornerback room. Just to be able to give him a guy who has at least the upside and the history of a good upside in there.
Yeah, the scene from the first Iron Man when Jeff Bridges is like he built this in a cave with a box of scraps. That's Jeff Halfley right at this quarterback room.
Yeah, honestly, like, yes. That is exactly what Jeff Halfley has had to do is build a top 10 defense in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
With a box of scraps
That is honestly
in the secondary, except for McKinney and Williams and Bullard. But so
Ooh, I mean, yeah. I think that Halfley could get a I don't know if he's gonna get a head coaching job or not. We can talk about that at a later date. But realistically, I mean, what for this Vikings game? What are you kind of looking at here? What do you if you're going into this as the Packers? What do you want to see from them besides a win?
You'd like
I want to
aside
see a
from a
win.
win. I don't think that's happening. Well, yeah, I think Brosmer might throw for like 50 yards, and he still might pull it off. God, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. You'd like to see the depth guys step up. Like this is your opportunity, prove it. You're going to see more of Nazir Stackhouse. You're going to see more Warren, Jonathan Ford too. Hopefully, Baron Sorrell's active.
You could,
Like-
I was just thinking about this. You could, in essence, not activate Gary this game as like a punishment.
Oh yeah, you sit Gary.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it won't look like it's a punishment, even though it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like sitting Gary I'd be like okay with, and then snap count LVN for sure. But I'm just looking at your depth guys to step up. This is your moment. Like take advantage of it. Additionally, we've talked about this probably like 14 times throughout the season. This may just finally be the Matthew Golden game.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
Because he's about the only receiver that's healthy.
I totally forgot. I honestly forgot about him. Like until you mentioned it, I wasn't even thinking about him. And I'm looking at the depth chart. That's how unfortunate Matthew Golden's season has gone because of teaming. But yeah, Matt LaFleur will actually have to give him targets because
On top of that, Clayton Tune was his guy at Houston for 3 years, and then before he transferred to Texas. So, what about you? What are you looking for aside from a win?
Yeah, I mean, I do think they can win this game. I know it's crazy to say, and I know that it's an uphill battle, but I think one of the ways in which Matt LaFleur can quiet the doubters, and I do think Matt LaFleur is a great coach, but if Matt LaFleur can win with some backups here, I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, okay, maybe we should stop yapping as much. And I'm looking at momentum. Like that's probably the biggest thing is how can you carry
Getting
momentum?
a win here would be big.
Getting a win here, no matter what, would be big. Would be big. But at the very least, I want to see them keep putting up a fight. And we talked about this a couple episodes ago about being hard to kill. I mean,
Has not been the motto that we thought that we hope they would undertake. This has not come to fruition.
Stop dying. No, that's the new motto. Stop dying, please, people. Stop dying. I will say this though. One of the things, like they have not given up. I will say that I have not seen this team give up, and I have seen that happen in years past. Just like them looking defeated.
Be sure we watched the same game on Saturday last week.
Yeah, but I don't think they gave up. I don't think it was ever I think it was poor execution, and I think that they just got exhausted. But I don't ever think any of those players just quit. I didn't see that kind of mentality. Whereas in like some years past, like when we got to the playoffs, it was like last year, I think specifically, like you had guys mentally quit because of how demoralizing the end of the season was. I think this year it's man, we're banged up, but we still got to go out there and work. And they're going to try their hardest to get the job done. I want to see that continue. I want to see that carry over because I think it's going to be important. I think that's going to be more important than winning this game, even though like I think winning will help a ton. But just being able to stack success upon success on the little things here, even if you end up losing by like a field goal. Like if you lose by a field goal with a bunch of scrubs, no offense, to put it dramatically, I'll be happy with that. As long as those guys go out there and work their butt off. And then I'm also looking at, like you said, which one of these depth guys is going to step up? Which one of these depth guys is going to take this game and say, hey, I know that Micah Parsons is on IR. I know that Marshawn Lloyd's on IR. I know that Jordan Riley's on IR. I know that Zane Anderson, Elton Jenkins is on IR. I know all these guys are on IR.
I forgot about him. Holy.
I know, right? I know that all these guys are on IR, but I'm gonna give them a reason to play me, and I'm gonna give them a purpose to. I'm gonna give them a reason to show them that it's not gonna hurt us bad. I'm gonna be the reason why I'm gonna be another reason why this team will step up. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it for if they elevate guys like Damian Martinez. I'm looking at it from like Emmanuel Wilson, who's already on the roster, who has taken his moments and sees them. I'm looking at it from Jordan Morgan, who has given him, I think, has given a reason to play at left tackle. I want to play at left tackle this game, and I want him to give the coaching staff a reason to keep him at left tackle.
One more important thing to note, real quick: we can very well win this game if we don't turn it over 5 times, like
Correct.
Detroit did.
Yes. And I think that ultimately, at the end of the day, play to win, but just don't turn the ball over. I agree with you. I think if they don't turn the ball over, they do absolutely win this game. I kind of think too, like just kind of bringing us home here. We're ending week 18 again at Minnesota. It looks like we're going to be playing Chicago again at Chicago for the playoffs. That seems like I think
Then you're relying on the Eagles to lose, which is like possible, but
they're not
unlikely.
playing. They're not playing any of their starters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll see you in Chicago.
We'll see you in Chicago.
We'll do that again.
We'll do back to the Bears, round 3, most likely after we talk about the Vikings game next week. That is all, folks. Till next time, go Pack Go.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!